When I first made the decision to move into a nursing home, I believed I was doing the right thing. I was told it would make life easier, safer, and more comfortable. Friends and family said it would be good for me, that I'd have people around me, that I'd get help with the things I struggled with, and that I wouldn't have to worry about cooking, cleaning, or managing the house anymore. It sounded like a peaceful solution to a tiring phase of life. But no one ever warned me about what I was giving up. No one talked about the emotional toll, the unexpected restrictions, and the deep sense of loss I would feel. If you're thinking about moving into a nursing home, or if someone you love is, I urge you to listen to these 6 hard truths. This isn't meant to scare you, but to prepare you. Because if I had known then what I know now, I might have chosen differently. And maybe, just maybe, this could save someone else from the quiet regrets I now carry with me. Hard truth number 1. You lose more independence than you think. One of the biggest misconceptions about nursing homes is that they offer freedom from responsibility, but in reality, they can rob you of more independence than you ever imagined. Sure, meals are cooked and laundry is done, but those tiny decisions you made daily, when to eat, what to wear, when to go for a walk, when to rest, are suddenly no longer yours alone. At first, I thought it would be a relief to have less to manage. But slowly, I realized that losing control over my day-to-day choices made me feel smaller, less in charge of my own life. You have to wait for help to go to the bathroom. You need to follow scheduled times for meals. You can't just decide to make a cup of tea at 2 a.m. And over time, these little losses of freedom chip away at your sense of self. For many, it can feel like you're being treated more like a task on someone's checklist than a person with a full life history. And that can be crushing to your spirit. Hard truth number 2. Loneliness doesn't disappear. It just changes shape. People often assume that moving into a nursing home will automatically fix loneliness because you're surrounded by others. But here's the difficult truth. Being surrounded by people doesn't always mean you feel connected. Many of us in nursing homes still feel deeply alone. Conversations can be shallow or repetitive. You may miss the real connections you once had with friends, neighbors, or family. And when visits from loved ones start to fade, when they get busy or forget, it hits even harder. The sense of being left behind becomes real. In some cases, residents are placed in rooms with strangers and expected to bond quickly, but real companionship doesn't work that way. You don't instantly replace a lifelong friendship with a roommate. The structure and environment can make genuine relationships harder to form, especially when so many residents are dealing with their own physical and emotional struggles. So yes, the walls are full of people, but not always full of warmth. Hard truth number 3. Privacy becomes a luxury. When you live in your own home, you have the comfort of space, your bed, your bathroom, your quiet corner. In a nursing home, that privacy is something you give up. From routine check-ins to sharing rooms, the personal space you once took for granted becomes limited. There were times I wanted to sit in silence, to cry, to talk to my children without someone overhearing. But privacy isn't always possible in that setting. You hear other residents' voices through thin walls. Staff may enter your room without notice. Personal items may be touched or moved. And the feeling that you're constantly being watched or managed can make you feel like you're living in a fishbowl. This lack of solitude can be emotionally draining. For many older adults who value dignity and personal space, this is one of the hardest parts to adjust to. Hard truth number 4. The care can sometimes feel like a system, not a service. There are many kind-hearted staff in nursing homes who genuinely care about the people they help. But the truth is, the system is often overworked and understaffed. What this means is that care can feel rushed, impersonal, or even neglectful at times. There were days I waited over an hour for help to use the bathroom. There were nights I lay in discomfort because no one was available. It's not always the fault of the caregivers. They're often doing the best they can under intense pressure. But to the person lying in bed waiting, the effect is the same. You feel invisible. You feel like a burden. And that's a terrible feeling to carry day after day. In some homes, the emphasis is on medication and routines rather than emotional or social well-being. The focus shifts from who you are to what needs to be done for you. And being treated like a checklist rather than a human being is deeply disheartening. Asterisk asterisk hard truth number 5. You begin to feel forgotten asterisk asterisk before moving in. You may imagine friends and family visiting regularly, but over time, visits become less frequent. Life outside the nursing home keeps moving, while your world slows down. And one day, you realize the phone rings less. The door opens less. People get busy, and while they may still love you, their absence begins to feel like abandonment. There's a quiet grief that sets in, a sense that you're no longer part of the world you once lived in. Birthdays are missed. Holidays feel hollow. Conversations with your children grow shorter or more strained. And that feeling of being forgotten cuts deep. It's one of the hardest parts to talk about, but it's real. For many residents, this emotional abandonment hurts more than the physical ailments they live with. Asterisk asterisk hard truth number 6. You may start to feel like you've given up on life too soon asterisk asterisk. This is perhaps the most painful realization. Once inside, you might begin to feel like this is where life ends, not physically, but emotionally. There's a sense that you're waiting out the rest of your days rather than living them. You stop making plans. You stop dreaming. There are fewer reasons to get excited. The world outside feels farther and farther away. Some days, you wake up and wonder what the point of it all is. And even though you're still here, breathing and thinking and feeling, you feel like society has already moved on without you. It's not just about the place, it's about the message the move sends, that your active life is over. And for many of us, that belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.